Hey guys, it's Dimitri from 67 Wine here, and today we welcome to our store Jean-Frederic Hugel. And if you guys know anything about Alsace wine, or wine for that matter, you've probably heard the name Hugel, and I think there's no reason for me to say anything more about it. I'll turn it over to Jean-Frederic. Could you tell us a little bit about your family and what you guys do?
So maybe if you haven't heard about Hugel, you've probably seen the label. The yellow label has been around for a little while. So basically my family has been producing wine since 1639.
Wow.
So I guess if we're not good at it, we'd better change our job. And we are still in the same village, same location, still producing in Alsace in a very, very typical style. And the wines are just showing by themselves.
Yeah. Do you have the oldest family wine business? Do you know?
Not exactly. No, there's a little bit older in Alsace. Actually, the Streambach, which is who are just, if I'm right, 9 years older than us.
Ah.
But it's still quite close.
Yeah. And you're now the which generation?
13.
Wow.
Lucky number.
Is there anybody in the family that doesn't have something to do with the business?
Sure, but less and less. You know, always the family spreads around, and we try to keep it quite in a very close circle of people.
And your role is?
I'm currently a student,
okay.
So my role is to improve as much as possible before I enter the company.
Great. So we've got a lineup here of some of the very basic wines, but I heard you say earlier that you guys believe that a wine company should be judged
through its most simple wine.
Right.
You know, it's pretty easy to make an expensive wine good. You can pay the best winemaker, the best grapes from the best locations. Just costs a lot.
Yeah. So I think it would be very appropriate. We can taste a little bit of the Gentil, which is the entry-level wine, and this is not.
This is the one that defines us the best. You know, by blending, you can have the taste that you want in the wine. This is a blend of the 5 major grapes in Alsace. This is simply a concentrated amount of Alsace in just one bottle.
And is there a reason that there isn't so much blending done in Alsace, and that you guys are like some of the only ones that are doing it?
You know, as usual in wine, it's mostly due to tradition. So traditionally, the wines from Alsace are generally monovarietal.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have been making this cuvée for how long?
We started 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So we want it simple, refreshing, still dry, very easily pairable with food.
Yeah.
But nice bit of fruit, which is very easy for aperitif as well.
Yeah, it's very generous with the aroma.
Sure. This is a great summer wine. I did not spit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's my job to spit.
I know. Oh. I'm not obliged to.
Yeah. No, but this is great, and there's some real nice sort of complex and sort of almost jet fuel like Riesling character.
Sure.
Which
there's quite a fair amount of Riesling actually.
It's a really fun wine, and very fairly priced. Come in to find out what the price is. Yeah, great. Let's move on to the Pinot Gris. What's this drawing on the cover there?
That's an artwork from Ralph Steadman. So he came at the winery and had one of our corkscrew on the table. So if you cannot see it, go and look on the internet.
Yeah.
But basically the drawing is just he took our corkscrew, very famous corkscrew, and that's basically he drew something around. And we said, such a nice piece of work, we cannot not
so
have it on the bottle.
Come in and look at this label, because you obviously can't tell from the video recording now. Let's try some of the Pinot Blanc.
Definitely. Pinot Gris.
Oh goodness, I'm sorry. Pinot Gris. Wow. I've just insulted the bottle.
That's fine. we have 3 members of the family of Pinot in Alsace: Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris, and Pinot Noir.
Do you have a favorite?
favorite wine?
And it's obviously a silly question to try to answer when you're in your position, but is there something that really speaks to you about any one of those?
I'm really a Riesling fan. I love Riesling. I was, you know, it's in my family, Riesling is the most celebrated grape. It's probably one of the most celebrated in Alsace, if not the most celebrated. So by far, Riesling is to me the most interesting grape when it comes to complexity. You know, Riesling can be completely different if grown on a different type of soil. Type of south-facing is completely different from east-facing.
And do you feel like you've had a chance to taste Riesling from other parts of the world that are sort of, you know, affected the way you think about your Riesling versus, you know, a Rheingau or a Pfalz or a Mosel or an Australia?
Actually, Riesling is probably one of the most misunderstood grapes due to the different styles of winemaking. So we are more used to dry Rieslings, and the sweeter are going to be late harvests and Sélection d'Grenoble. So this makes it almost impossible to compare. Basically, you cannot compare a dry Riesling to a sweeter style of Riesling.
Yeah.
It's basically two different wines.
Yeah. But what we have in our glass is not a Riesling, but a Pinot Gris.
Yes. Still dry, but has a little bit more fullness. It's much easier.
Yeah, what I love about these is there's some sort of an, you know, there's like a gunflint kind of character to this one a little bit.
And this is all about Alsace, you know. Despite we have fruit with Gewürztraminer Muscat, we still have this really fantastic minerality, especially on Riesling, on Pinot Gris. Even some Pinot Blanc have a fantastic minerality that just needs to express.
Yeah, that's definitely the operative word, expressive. These wines, they're not bowl you over, bold and explosive, but they are expressive.
Yes.
And they've evolved very nicely on the palate.
All about finesse, you know. Acidity brings finesse, acidity brings freshness, and this is all we're looking about.
Jean-Frederic, it's great to have you here.
Great pleasure.
And thanks for coming on. Come down here, try any one of these 4 wines. You will not be disappointed. It's a great pick for the summertime. I'm Dimitri. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
If I need to conclude, I would say that Alsace is by far the best value for money in France. Not even talking about Hugel, of course a bit more about Hugel than about the others, but really, try them.
Yeah, definitely worth discovering. Come down, discover new things. We're all here to help you out. We'll see you next time.